Okay, this is basically a quick video on how I went about changing the rear control arm front bushes, because there was quite a lot of toe in on the rear on my 225, and so I took the wheel off and basically I removed the 10mm bolt from the brake line, and under here you'll see there's some bolts under there, just around the control arm here, just in there. There's one there. There's 4 of those. They were quite rusted, and they were 16mm, or they were 15mm, like hit on to get them loose. And then basically you loosen those, you try and get this one loose. If it corrodes, then you'll just have to force it off, because sometimes if you drop this down, the brake line doesn't flex and it can break. So this needs to come apart ideally. And then what you do is, once you've dropped the 4 bolts off, you can support the arm with the jack and allow it to drop down slowly, and then you'll have access then to the single bolt that holds the alignment plate to the control arm. And then basically that is just a normal bolt. There's no nut on the end, it just bolts inside. So undo that. A lot of WD-40 is required. Undo that, and then you can basically, you'll drop the arm down to about here, and then I dropped it there on the jack and pressed it through with a basic bearing press puller, and refitted some Powerflex bushes as it was on the car. There was no need to remove anything else, so all this stuff stayed attached while I did it. And I literally just did the 4 bolts, the brake line, and made sure the brake line was unclipped from under the chassis, so it didn't like bend or anything. And I also, just to mention, did take off the handbrake cable and made that loose so it could have more flex to go down. And once that was down, yeah, I pressed it out, I put the new bushes in, and then I tightened the bolt back on, jacked it back up. You have to wiggle it around a lot to get the arm back into the housing. And then I could see where the bolts were before, so alignment is near but it's not spot on, so you do need an alignment really after you do the bushes, but it should be okay to get to the alignment place. But yeah, you'll see. So once they're tight, then you'll be good to go. Wheel back on, clip everything back in, and then basically go get it aligned. You can just about see this side is already done. I had quite a lot of toe in, but you can see it's basically gone now, and this is before it gets aligned. So yeah, it's pretty good. So hopefully that helps anyone who's wondering what you need to take off the car. Basically, you don't need to remove much at all. The worst bit was getting the arm back in. You had to drop it and heighten it again a few times to get it on, but it was fine in the end. So hopefully that helps someone. Cheers.